What's going on, everybody? Welcome back. It's been like 7 days since we saw you last. We've had a ton of stuff going on. I've been busy with work. I'm excited to get back to riding today, and actually it's been at least a week since I've ridden this guy. So I'm gonna put the GoPro on my head, explain a little bit about what I'm doing and why I'm doing it, maybe just give you guys a good POV of what I'm doing and what I'm feeling. Riding a horse that has been off for 7 days or more is way different than a horse that has been ridden every single day for the last 3 or 4. It's a bit of a different animal. So I'm gonna put the GoPro on my head and we'll see you in a minute. One thing, whenever you've got a horse that hadn't been saddled in a while, hadn't been ridden in a while, I always just put their saddle on with a really loose girth and back cinch. You don't want to be yanking on this and pulling this too tight before they're ready and not expecting it. So I do it real loose, and then when I'm about to get on, I tighten it up a little bit, and then I just go real slow. And this doesn't really pertain to Blue as much because he's really kind of an older horse, a seasoned horse, but especially if you're talking younger horses or horses that don't have as much experience, you just really want to kind of take your time and be easy. I'm not going to do these too tight, just enough for us to get some work done. If I was roping, these would be much tighter. Mr. Rider getting some snacks. Hey, babe. Hopefully everybody can hear me. My gosh. Hopefully everybody can hear me. It's a little bit windy out today. A lot of what I'm going to tell you is especially true for younger horses or unexperienced horses, but it's the same thing that you want to think about with an older horse or a horse that's been around the block a time or two. When I first get on, I don't want to lope off, or I don't want to be in a rush or anything like that. Let these horses warm up. One of the battles that I'm going to have today is getting Blue to think about what I'm asking him to do. If they're a little bit fresh, is what I call it, and that's one of the reasons I wanted to do this video. When I say fresh, I'm saying he's got a little bit of gas in his tank, if you will. He is going to be a little bit more energetic because he's been fed for 7 days and he hasn't had any work. And if you're an amateur and you have a normal job, you're going to know exactly what I'm talking about. Sometimes you just don't get as much riding in as you want, and so there are going to be days where your horses have a little bit more energy than maybe you would want to. So today is that day for me. Today my goal and objective is to get him a little bit of exercise, get that gas a little bit out of his tank, and to get him to listen to me. That's going to be the whole objective of today. By the end of it, I need to make sure that he is listening to me so that when I get on next time, that we're ready to go. Just going to keep him walking out, kind of getting him loose, but I also want to see where his head's at. We're always looking for the thinking side of these horses' brain, and so I'm trying to figure out, all right, is he with me, is he not with me? So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to keep my reins right in the middle of his neck, my hand on his neck, and I'm just going to use a little bit of leg pressure. Okay, I'm going to use the right leg there. Okay, so I know he's not completely tuning me out. He is actually listening to me fairly well. I just put a little bit of leg pressure on with my right, and he went to the left, and it was perfect, right? So I used just a little bit of my calf pressure to get him to move left. He did, and so I can kind of see where we're starting out at today, which is not bad. If I was on a younger horse, it'd be a little bit different, I think. My beautiful wife just reminded me that one of the reasons why we walk and we start slow is it takes about 15 minutes for the lactic acid and everything in their joints and the oxygen in their bodies to get used to exercise, to get used to work. If you're a runner like I am, you understand the fact that it's very hard to just start from no exercise or no aerobic exercise and just haul off and go and run a 6-minute mile or whatever your pace is. A lot of times you have to start slow and you have to get the oxygen moving through your body, getting them down through your legs. That's why a lot of people will go run a mile before a marathon or a half marathon, because they're trying to get their body used to okay, hey, I need oxygen in my legs, I need oxygen pumping through my body. So that is essentially what we're doing here, is we're saying, hey, just warm up nice and slow, let your body get used to movement, get used to work, get ready for work. Oh. I've shown it in videos before, but one thing I like to do whenever I'm trotting and just getting warmed up is I like to do a figure 8, okay? So that's what I'm gonna do right here. I'm just gonna do a nice figure 8. That way we're moving both left and to the right. It's also making Blue think. If you just go around in a big circle, it's pretty boring for these horses. So do a little bit of a figure 8, get both sides of their brain moving. That way they start really thinking about what you're asking. Right here, I'm just gonna have a little bit of pressure with my calves until he, there. He's gonna want to stop over here by rider. There. After we've done that for a little bit, I just want him to walk around for a second. And then what I'll do is I'll start him in a little bit of a trot. We'll trot out for a few strides, and then I'm gonna kick him up into a lope. We're not gonna do too much today because, like I said, it's been a week since he has had any work, so don't do too much. There's no need to do too much. Just make it nice and simple. Squeeze there. Just nice big circles. And I just want to have my hand right on the middle of his neck, and I want to do everything with my legs if possible. Get a little squirrely. He sees the fallow over there. Oh. Good boy. We're gonna do the same thing, but we're gonna go to the right now. This is his worst side. Going to the left is easy. Being in the left lead is easy. Being a rope horse, he's always in the left lead. On days like today, I do want to get some of that right lead action in. So this is gonna be his harder side to pick up. So we just have to have a little bit of patience. And if he doesn't get it right the first time, no big deal. We'll go back down to a trot. We'll try again until he gets it. I'm not gonna spend too much time on this side. We'll do that probably in the next day or so. Right now, I just want him to get a little bit of right brain action in, and then he'll be good for today. So I'm gonna start at a trot. And I'm gonna ask with this left. Good boy. Good job. I don't know who got sweatier, myself or Mr. Blue. One thing I like to do after we ride is I like to tie these horses up, whether in a cross tie or on a fence. It gets them to think about what you just taught them or what your training session was about. I hope this video was helpful to some. If it wasn't, maybe you just got some cool video of me and my point of view. Being on the back of a horse is one of the best views that I have. I'm not a trainer by any means, and so anything that I say in this video is just what I know and what I think works for me and my horses. So take it with a grain of salt. If you like these kinds of videos, let us know in the comments below. If you like our channel, make sure that you go subscribe. Thank you guys. We'll see you next time.